How's everyone doing? Today I have a horror Blu-ray collection update with 6 pickups right here. And if you've seen any of these titles, definitely let me know what you think of them. And let me know which one of these is your favorite as well. Leave me those comments down below. And first up is the Vestron Video Collector's Series edition of Maximum Overdrive. And I haven't seen anything released from Vestron Video Collector Series line from Lionsgate in a while. I hope they start to release more titles. They started out really strong and then just kind of like dissipated a little bit, like a title here, title like 6 months later there. It's been a while. Like I want to say at least 6-7 months since I think that the one's come out. Has this been the latest one actually? This is number 17 on the spine. Maybe this was the last one. I have to double check on it, but I don't know. I definitely want to see that label in particular release more titles. They did a great job thus far. The only title that I haven't enjoyed from them was the movie Parents. I remember liking that movie as a kid and watching it now. I thought it was dreadful. And not really too much horror element going on there. But Maximum Overdrive is a very fun one. I haven't seen it in a while. I have my old DVD copy, and I'm actually debating about getting rid of that copy. It was the outer print one where it had the body and the grill. They actually like recalled it and they re-released it without the body. I guess there was too many people complaining it was graphic. Let me know if I should keep that or not. I was kind of holding on to it for like the memories of it. Like that was the rare one to have back in the day, the old Anchor Bay release. Let me know if you have that one and if I should keep it as well now that I have this Blu-ray edition, which looks amazing with the slipcover right there. Great Stephen King adaptation. Emilio Estevez is in here. There's a few other recognizable faces, a ton of special features on this release. Stephen King has a small cameo from what I can remember. I think he was at the ATM that he was in. It's been, like I said, it's been a while, but it's basically about I think it's a comet that flies over and like disrupts everything, and magnetic fields and I guess all the machines on Earth are coming to life and trying to kill people. And there's a group of people holed up in this diner trying to fight to survive. And I just remember being a really entertaining time. It's one of the earlier horror movies I saw as a kid growing up. I'd say probably the maybe 20 horror movies, one of the first 20 horror movies I ever saw. So I think that the very first one was the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and it was The Exorcist, and I can't remember after that. There's a few different other ones, but this is definitely one of the earlier ones. Let me know if you remember the very first horror movie you ever watched. Leave me the comment down below letting me know what it was. But yeah, definitely excited to revisit this one on Blu-ray. And next up from Criterion Collection is The Lure. I've heard great things about this one, and reading the synopsis of it, I am even more intrigued to check this out. This is from 2015. It's a Polish film. It's a horror musical, and it's the debut of the Polish director Agnieszka Smazinska. Forgive me for butchering that. It's about a tale of two mermaid sisters who are coming to a shore, and they're exploring in an alternate 1980s Poland. Basically, they start singing at this nightclub because they have the otherworldly auras and siren songs, so they become a huge hit there. And they have, I guess, teeth, and I guess it's like a twisted feminist tale on Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid. And basically, they're kind of torn apart because one of them falls in love with a human. And it says it's a coming-of-age fairy tale with a catchy synth-fueled soundtrack. And it says it's exploring themes of emerging female sexuality, exploitation, and compromises of adulthood with savage energy and originality. So I'm intrigued by this. I think it's very unique sounding, and I'm digging. I've seen a couple scenes from it, and I like the 80s setting too, the synth pop. And there's always a nice booklet in here from Criterion. That's all covered up, but it looks pretty creepy right there. And I'll go ahead and there's not really interior. There's no interior artwork, it's just black, I guess. But maybe that's a tonal hint right there of this movie. But I am excited for this one big time. I wish Criterion would release more horror movies. I feel like the ones that they have released are amazing, and I just want to see more of that genre. I feel like that's the one genre in particular that doesn't get quite as much love from them. I guess Westerns, well, I feel like back in the day there were more Westerns from Criterion than there are now anyways, released. Next up is Pulse from Arrow Video. Arrow Video, Criterion Collection, two of my favorite companies releasing Blu-rays today. Arrow Video is usually cult horror titles. although they do some westerns and stuff like that too, and some dramas. Usually Arrow Academy handles the dramas and stuff, but I actually like the remake for this, the American remake. Pulse, I know it gets a lot of criticism, but I think it was well done. But this is the original Japanese one from Koyashi Kurosawa. And this is basically, you know, the beginning or the burgeoning internet and social media scene in Japan. And there's these deaths going on, a group of friends, and suicides. And they see this website saying, "Do you want to meet a ghost?" And it's just all kinds of weird, creepy imagery and haunting scenes and score and cinematography. Definitely ahead of its time and very influential and creepy. And I'm looking forward to checking out this release for it as well from Arrow Video. I mean, look at that. Creeptastic. And there is the second disc, and here is the other artwork interior. I like that artwork too. That's pretty creepy. The newly commissioned artwork, and then the reversible artwork right there. And again, I love when they have the booklets in here, behind the scenes information and scenes. So a lot of times they pick some really great shots, and they have film critics and just people involved with the film. So if you're a fan, I think it's a really nice added touch. And again, even, you know, the transfers, the special features, the films that they choose, newly commissioned artwork, reversible artwork, the clear case, the packaging of the disc artwork, unique disc artwork, the booklet, just everything about it is an amazing, all-around perfect release. Like, you can't be mad at them for what they're doing if you're a fan of the film. I haven't been let down thus far. Next up is Basket Case. Really beautiful release for this one. Frank Henenlotter classic. I remember him talking about the budget for this. Like, I think it was like $35,000, and there was like a scene where they're looking down at some crumpled money on the floor, and he was saying that's the budget we had left to film the rest of the movie. But yeah, the brand new 4K restoration, just a ton of, look at that. That is all the special features right there. Bilal is just amazing. Bilal is just like super creepy, and I think just a horror icon. I'll have to say the second and third Basket Case movies, I'm just not a big fan of. The different creatures and stuff they're cool, unique looking. There's like the moon face one, but it just doesn't live up to the first one. Dwayne and Bilal they're just awesome as the brothers here, and it's basically about the one with the giant deformity, Bilal, who has a mind of its own, a very violent mind, and they get separated. The doctors perform that, and they think that it had died, but they escape, and they're going to just dirty New York City. I just love the look at how, you know, gross and grimy it is. Just some blood, and just how crazy Belial is, and just it's awesome. I love it. It's just a classic to me, and this release is phenomenal. There you go. There's a nice slipcover for it with the basket, and there you go. What's in the baskets? And there you go. There he is. Oh man, I love this movie. Just that seedy hotel. It's so much fun. They go to the veterinarian. I love it. So just a phenomenal release from Arrow Video for it, and just so many special features. I'd have to say for me, this is one of the best releases, standalone releases, not including like box sets and stuff from Arrow Video. Phenomenal, absolutely. Next up is Leprechaun Returns. This is the newest one. I saw this on the Sci-Fi Channel one night, and I don't know, I want to revisit it. This is from Lionsgate, to check it out again, because when I first watched it, I thought it was just about average. I liked some of the sequels better. Even the Leprechaun Origin, the recent one with like Hornswoggle, one before this, I thought that was really enjoyable. A lot of people didn't like it because it changed the look for the Leprechaun, but I actually thought it was creepier. Kind of went away from like the goofier side. This went back to the goofier side. I think some of the best one-liners in the movie weren't even delivered by the Leprechaun, but I do like the tie-in with Jennifer Aniston being the mother, and then some other characters coming back. But everything else about the storyline just kind of didn't work. I wanted more from the Leprechaun, more kills, more better one-liners. It's just basically about a girl going to this like kind of remote sorority house, but it's like an old like farmhouse, and they're trying to be, you know, growing their own self-sustainable, growing their own fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. But there's only like 5 girls or something like that in this sorority, so that right there, just like, what? what kind of, I feel like you have to have a minimum number, like, I don't know, 10, 15, something like that to be considered a sorority or fraternity for that matter. And then there are a couple of the girls, guys that are interested in come over, and, you know, they're kind of helping out. And then, you know, the Leprechaun comes into play, and I don't know. I just wanted it to be better than it was. It was kind of a little bit disappointing to me. I don't know. I'm going to revisit it, give it another chance, though. But it has some good special features in here, too. So maybe I'll check that out afterwards. Sometimes I feel like the special features are better than the film itself. That's happened with a lot of releases for me. I do like that there are a lot of companies now are doing more special features. Like, it used to be just kind of boutique labels, if you will, for like Criterion Collection, Arrow Video, but even some of the major studios are doing that more often now. Next up, another release from Lionsgate is I Still See You. This was based off a popular novel called Break My Heart 1,000 Times. To me, this is like a YA horror, young adult horror. Bella Thorne is in the lead here. Dermot Mulroney plays a pivotal character. It's basically about there's an explosion, and it says it's a romantic supernatural thriller, but I would say this is a horror. It's a supernatural horror. Basically, after an explosion happens, they call it an apocalyptic event. Leaves the world haunted by ghosts. They call them remnants. There's these ghosts that kind of appear, and they don't really interact with other people that are alive. They go through like their daily paces that they were doing that day when they were killed. They appear for like a few seconds. They'll just be walking or doing something mundane, and they just go through that same cycle every single day. So the living people see them, they're just kind of used to them. But one day, Bella Thorne sees a remnant that seems to be violent towards her, and she is freaked out by it, and she thinks that her life might be in danger. And there's a romance aspect, obviously. One of the other kids in the school is trying to help her get to the bottom of it, figure out what's going on, and they realize there's a tie-in and you know, kind of a deeper situation kind of being covered up, and how everything ties together. I actually really liked the ending and how it plays out and comes together in that regard with certain characters. But I just felt like to get there, the journey to get there could have been better, could have been more interesting. I'm not a big fan of Bella Thorne as an actress. I don't know. There's certain actresses that I feel like in a lot of movies right now that are really popular. I'm just not a big fan. Actors and actresses for that matter. But I feel like I've seen her a lot lately. But I don't know. It's a decent movie overall. It just feels a little light. They could have done more with it. It could have been a good atmosphere, some good underlying tension and thrills, but it just could have been so much more. And I feel like they played it safe because it is kind of like a young adult kind of horror movie. They play up the romance aspects and certain other elements here. But overall, I still thought it was decent, but not quite great. Better than what I was expecting it to be initially, given the cast. I like Dermot Mulroney, but given some of the other younger cast, and I'm not a big fan of Bella Thorne, and just the way that I knew it was going to be like a YA kind of thing. But still, I don't know. I feel like it had the potential to be so much better. I liked a lot of elements going on there, good atmosphere and stuff like that, and kind of an interesting take too with the remnants and how they, you know, are playing out that cycle every single day. But there you go. Those are the 6 horror Blu-rays. If you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me a comment down below, and let me know what you'd like to see Vestron Video release in the future. What do you like to see? Let me know what you'd like to see Criterion Collection release in the future horror-wise. What you'd like to see Arrow Video release in the future. What your favorite Arrow Video release is thus far. Just single release edition, no box sets or anything like that. And let me know what your favorite Leprechaun sequel is. So there you go. Again, leave all those comments down below. And hope everybody's doing well. Keep it spooky. Halloween season. Let's do it. Take care.